Hello, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining this session. After a very interesting session this morning with the CEO of Pros Park, we will move to another interesting session with Yulia Yulia. And what we are going to discuss in this session is regarding tourism management, especially during the pandemic. So I would like to introduce you with the speaker today. The lecturer for this session is Yulia Arisnani Widyaningsih. She is a senior lecturer and researcher at Management Department, Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Gadjah Mada. And she is also a researcher and consultant of Center of Tourism Studies or Pusat Studi Pariwisata at Universitas Gadjah Mada. She graduated from Faculty of Economics, Universitas Gadjah Mada in 1991, earning a doctoranda or bachelor degree from the university. And in the year 1999, she also earned an M.B.A degree from Monash University, Melbourne, Australia, and in 2012, she earned a doctorate degree from the Faculty of Business, Economics and Law at the University of Queensland in Brisbane, Australia. And her dissertation title is Stakeholders' Perception of the Authenticity and Sacredness of World Cultural Heritage Sites, a study of the Borobudur and Prambanan temples in Indonesia. And me as a person who lives around Borobudur temple will be very interested with this topic. So in this session, we will have another FGD session, and this should be very engaging and interesting for you all, and you can participate more actively in this session. And I hope with this mode of learning, with the mode of participative learning, that you can gain some insights and some learning experiences that you can gain. So without further ado, let me greet Ibu Yulia first. Hello, Ibu Yulia. How are you today? How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, I'm glad to meet you, and I think this is my first time to meet you personally, Ibu Yulia. So my name is Achmad. I'm helping you to manage this class, this session more particularly. So if you have any problems or any assistance that you need, please just contact me.
Okay, thank you.
And we'll have, as have been informed to me, there will be some discussions in this class. So there will be some groups that you can assign.
Is that seven groups?
Yeah, there are 7 groups, and we will usually have a discussion for about 15 minutes, and then presentation 6 minutes for each group. And I think we can start the lecture and discussion from now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ahmad. So I have around 20 to 30 minutes, is that right, for my presentation?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we can start now. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. How is everybody? I think you have a great morning this morning. I'll share you my PowerPoint. Yeah. Okay. Is that my voice clear? Everybody can hear me?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Very clearly.
Okay. My title is The Role of Technology and Tourism Recovery and Sustainability in the New Normal Era. It's even the title is about the role of technology, but my background is not engineering. So my point of view is more from the tourism marketing perspective. Yeah. And then there are some also issues about the sustainability. Yeah. Before I start, can everybody please write down in your chat, in the chat room, the three top destination in your mind, the three top destination in Indonesia in your mind. Please write it down in your chat. What comes to your mind when we talk about Indonesian tourism? Oh, while you write down the destination that comes to your mind, let's see this picture. Have you been there? What is it?
Is it Danau Toba, ma'am?
Yes. Yes. Have you been there?
Yes, my village is near there.
Yeah. For the one who hasn't been there, this is the largest lake in Southeast Asia. Largest lake. And then number one, this is the deepest lake as well. It has like 450 meters, the depth. And then if you go there, what do you expect to see there? Yeah.
Great view.
Great view, yeah. What else? What do you expect?
Fresh air.
Yes, fresh air, great view. How's the condition? It looks like an ocean, yeah, but this is lake.
Yes.
When I went there in one of my research with Center of Tourism Studies, we also find out there's also some problem in Toba, in the Lake Toba. UGM students doing the KKN there, the community service there, and then they measure the pollution of the lake. The pollution is really, really high. This is many times bigger than the normal or the normal level. And because you see, for lake, the movement is not like ocean. This is different. And then from my research, I also see there's some finding about the fish there. They call it ikan bata. They got trouble with the ikan bata. It's not like few years before that people can see that. There are some predators is also there. You know, Nila is actually predator. Yeah. So this is beautiful, but not many students, not many people in Indonesia can afford to go there. Even we really want to go there, but it's really expensive. Is that more expensive going to Toba compared to Thailand, to Singapore? Everybody went to Singapore before, or Thailand, or maybe you go to other places around the world. But this is one of the problem in relation to the price. Yeah. How about this? I think everybody went there before. Yeah, on the left. Borobudur. Anybody hasn't been there before? Borobudur? In Indonesia, this is one of the most famous destination. And if we live here in Yogyakarta, this is pretty close to our place. But what do you know about Borobudur? Do you know where the stone, the rock, come from? This is the volcanic rock. This is the volcanic rock. If this is from Merapi, for example, can you imagine at year 700? How can people bring stone or rocks, big rocks from Merapi mountain, go to Magelang to build Borobudur? It consists of 2 million rock, 2 million stone actually. And then it's all engraved beautifully. Yeah. And from year 700, can you imagine the consistency of how people doing that in the past, how they build it? And then from my research, because my research is about this World Heritage Temple, I interview an artist, and then he said that, and also scientists, they mentioned that actually they have very good consistency. For example, like the proportion of the eyes, the face, the body. This is really consistent. Even they build it more than 2 generations, but they have very good consistency. How can they do that? How can they measure it? The technology is not like now. You can imagine the beauty of this Borobudur. And then next one, what is that? The pink beach. Have you been there? How come the sand is pink? The sand is pink. Yeah, that is because of the coral. Yeah, this is one of top priority in Indonesia right now. And it's really expensive, I think, to go there. Yeah. Okay. And then when you look at this picture, there's a 360 photos. This is they apply the technology for the tourism. Right now, if you're really feeling bored, stay at home, I think you can join the virtual tourism. And then from your room, you can go to Labuan Bajo. You can enjoy Bali. You can go to Tomohon. Do you know Tomohon? This is in Sulawesi, where the extreme food is actually there. Yeah, people can buy snake, they eat it, and then there are several extreme culinary there. Yeah, they use the technology for this. We can go very close to Komodo. Yeah. But unfortunately, you can't enjoy Sate Ponorogo there. Well, it's you can't eat it virtually. So we have a virtual experience, but then we lost some other experience there. Okay, I'm sorry. The first one is actually Likupang, and then this is the pink beach in Labuan Bajo, Pulau Komodo, and Komodo Island. Do you want to go to Komodo Island? Even we can see Komodo in, for example, in some zoo, but it will be different in the wild place like this in their real habitat. Yeah. This is the Komodo Island, Pink Beach. This is Indonesia. From many different places in Indonesia, how many you visit? How many you visit? If outside Java is at Bali, or maybe some of you going to Raja Ampat, even it's really expensive here, or maybe some other places. If you look at this picture, see, this is what happened right now. The Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy offering a kind of bela beli. So this is an effort to help the small-scale industries, supporting the tourism industries. You see, using the technology, people can do this. So from your place, actually, you can order some merchandise from Toba. Yeah, and then this is the payment system. Or if the one to go, they go there is actually they can also applying some current technology for payment as well. Yeah, this is what happened, but not many people is actually ready for the technology. So some people, some small business, small scale industries, people, business people there, it's not really comfortable yet with this kind of technology, and also for the customers. But I think you as a young people very familiar with this technology. Okay, I don't have much time. Actually, for 20 minutes, you see there are many pages in my PowerPoint, but it's more about data. because we will have a focus group discussion, so you need data. Yeah, so don't worry about how many pages I have. There are some outline here. The pandemic impact on tourism industry. This is really bad. While doing the industry analysis, we usually think about or analyze the competitiveness. Yeah, because our destination is actually compete with other destination, but competition is not just about competing. Yeah, we also collaborate. For example, you will see trying to recover the tourism industry of Malaysia. Malaysia working together with Singapore, yeah, opening some places, and then make some collaboration for tourism recovery. And then because of the sustainability, we also talk about SDGs, the target to achieve the sustainable development goals is actually 2030. But that's before the pandemic. I think the situation is a bit worse at this moment. Can we achieve in 2030 no poverty, no hunger, good quality of underwater, below the water, above the water? There are many different indicators. Then I'll take you to the basic marketing process, because in the focus group discussion, I will ask you what will be the strategy, yeah, for tourism recovery, and then you can use those kinds of basic marketing process there. And then some examples of the technology adoption in tourism. I send you actually two journal articles. If you stay hungry, stay foolish. Yeah, I agree with that. You can read that. Yeah, you can read that and see how other country actually applying technology for their tourism activities. There are some recovery strategies, and then we go to the discussion question. Look at the pandemic impact on tourism industry. You can imagine before the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, if you go to Bali, it's a bit difficult to get a room, for example. And then once I went there during the pandemic, early pandemic, 111 room hotel. The number of room occupied is only 3 to 4 rooms, including my room. And then I can do my lecture from Bali actually at that time. It's really convenient, the place. The swimming pool is really clean, but nobody there. And then I only pay around 300,000 one night. In the normal days, more than 1 million. But without breakfast, you can see from 111 room how much money they actually earn. And then if it's only 3 room, how much is the loss? And then multiply by the number of accommodation, the aviation industry. There's no airplane around us at this moment. You can imagine the loss. Yeah, from the third quarter 2020, look, deep decline of 86% of the income. Then if you look at this numbers from the Statistics Indonesia, actually you see the drop is really significant here. Yeah. Can you imagine how to help them? Yeah, because it involves so many people livelihood. And then you compare it but the international tourist arrivals. Because of this pandemic, we are part of the Asia and Pacific. Look at that, drop more than 95%. It's so sad there. It's so sad, but there's always hope. With the vaccine, actually, I hope that the health condition is getting better, and then people can start doing their activity. Yeah, Asia and Pacific is really hit hard by the pandemic. It's even worse than the world one. Okay. And then for the industry, when we talk about tourism industry in Indonesia, the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, because creative economy supporting these industries. Yeah. When we talk about the industry, you can use, for example, like Porter 5 forces model. Do you think that tourism industry in Indonesia is still attractive? For example, it's not only in Indonesia but also in the world. When we refer to the Porter 5 forces model, do you remember the component of Porter 5 forces model? There's a supplier. How's the bargaining power of supplier, for example, for the hotel industry? How is the bargaining power of the buyer? Yeah. Do they have a very good bargaining power at this moment? And then other factors is actually the competition itself, industry competitive rivalry, potential new entrants. Is there any potential new entrants in the tourism industry? And also the substitute, because people can't go everywhere right now, so the substitute take this opportunity. For example, people do something else. For the competitiveness, you see there is a competitiveness index by this is the data from World Economic Forum. Travel and Tourism Competitiveness Index has some factors here: enabling the environment, travel and tourism policy. This is enabler, infrastructure, and then natural and cultural resources. There are some factors in the environment, for example, business environment, safety, security. You see how pandemic actually hit this. And hygiene. Yeah. When you look at the figure here, there are some the scale is from which one. This is the performance for Indonesia. Which one need improvement? Yeah, there are some figures that's showing 3 point something. Yeah. For example, cultural resources and business travel. What else here? Tourist services and infrastructure, we know about that. If you go to Instagram, for example, there are many beautiful places, but how to go there? Yeah, for example, you want to see waterfalls. Waterfalls is always in the very high place. How to access that place? This is become a problem. And ground and port infrastructure, and then there are some others. But I think the number can change because this is after yeah, maybe some how tourism. Yeah, I think it can be a part of the discussion. For example, like with tourism, it helps providing more working opportunities, so reduce the poverty. And then how's the link from tourism with zero hunger? The agriculture, you know, when people go around and then they see there are many agricultural potentials in Indonesia. And then good health and well-being. For example, right now there is some spa, wellness tourism. Yeah, it increases this kind of space. And then quality education. When you go around Indonesia, you can see you are lucky people have a very good education, but then you see the fact around you. It's not only Indonesia, but also around the world. For example, you go to some places in India. I went to Kerala, India at that time. Kerala actually looks like if Indonesia Tawangmangu, But then I saw that the education is really good. Even in the very difficult places, they also apply technology. Um, uh, for example, like a solar heater, they use the solar energy by empowering women there. So this is some areas, 17 areas in the Sustainable Development Goals that actually we are also part of the country that signing this. 2030 is the target. Yeah. How's the life below water, life on land? What do you do about the climate action, etc.? Responsible consumption and production. This is also area of concern. You see that some segment that they have abundance of wealth. For example, abundance of consumption, high consumption, but then in the other part of the world, they have difficulties on there. So this is responsible consumption and production, including the tourism resources. Okay, I will not go further about this. Everybody take marketing before? Actually, marketing is the process when the company actually or the management create values, communicate the values, deliver the values, and then build strong customer relationship and capture value in return. Yeah, for example, maybe you also familiar with Gojek. Gojek identifies some problems. Look at this. This is the marketing process. See how technology involved here. Marketing process start with understanding the marketplace and customer needs and wants. In tourism, this is also what happened. I think some of you also are questioning about whether the company could detect is this what customer really wants and needs. But sometimes customer also have needs and wants that is not actually, they are not actually good for them. Sometimes it just happens. Okay, understand the marketplace and customer needs and wants. Technology involved here. Using the big data, using data mining. In tourism, they also use this to understand the marketplace and customer needs and wants. The research, managing the information and consumer data, which is also some problem with the consumer data, the privacy, the ethics. Companies should really pay attention on that. Okay, and then here, design a customer value-driven marketing strategy. Customer value-driven marketing strategy. Select which one to serve. So in your focus group discussion, I hope that you will, when you recommend something, you mention this strategy is actually for this customer, because customer is actually segmented. Yeah, for example, in tourism, there are young people, there are senior citizens, there are so many different customer segment. Okay, this is design a customer value driven marketing strategy, select the customer, segmentation, targeting, and also positioning is here. Any question about segmentation, targeting, positioning? From a big market, they divide into several clusters, and then from several clusters, they can choose which one they want to focus on. And then they also have positioning, how to put the image of the product to the mind of the customer, to the customer mind. Okay, so when people selling, for example, Labuan Bajo, Borobudur, and then some other places in Indonesia or in the world, for example, Stonehenge, they have to put it into the customer mind. Then the third one, construct integrated marketing program. This is marketing mix decision. Product, price, place, promotion. It's not only for B, can be 7B. That is the tools that marketing do. product decision, price, distribution, promotion. So if you want to market Indonesia, for example, how's the best strategy during this pandemic? Which marketing mix you want to address? And then another thing, engage customer, build profitable customer relationship means win-win solution. Customer is also your partner. In tourism industry now, there are some co-creation between the marketer and also the customer, and then capture value from customers and return, because the customer will, when they are loyal, when they are happy, they can post their comment, they can ask other people, they can also promote the place. Yeah, so that it will increase the share. Look down there, the marketing technology, there's some technology, the global market requirement. Down there is actually the external environment that influences decisions. So the marketing process from create for customers, communicate and deliver value to the customer, and get value from customer. Yeah, capture value from customer in return. This is one of the concepts that you can use while you do your focus group discussion, I think, because you need to relate the technology and also those kind of activity. Yeah. Okay, here are some technology adoption in tourism. I think I already get some information about augmented reality, virtual reality, Internet of Things, wearable devices, and then there are some other practices right now, the virtual tourism. Have you joined any virtual tourism? Because from Indonesia right now, you can go, for example, if you want to go to Stonehenge, for example, it can be paid activity or non-paid activities. Some of it free activity, free event that you can join. And then, for example, if you go to Stonehenge or if you go to Singapore, you can join them. For example, in a real time, they can arrange with a number of some number of people, and then some tour guide as well. And you can have those kind of interactive activities. Yeah. After the pandemic, I think you have some choices after you join several virtual tourism, which one you want to go. I hope that you can support Indonesian tourism. Yeah, it's not only looking at the picture, but also you will share, and you as the young people, we expect so much from your creativity to market, to educate other people about what we have in our country. There are so many beautiful places. Okay, this is the technology adoption in tourism. You see, it can be for on-site or off-site. Yeah, while on-site, for example, if you go to Roman Baths, for example, you can get some devices. You can get some assistant using the technology, explaining about the place, and you can also operate it. You can use the 360-degree to understand about the places. And then there are some entertainment activities, entertainment and education, for example, using the virtual reality. Is that with the virtual reality we can feel the temperature? It will be great, yeah, if we can, if they can develop this kind of technology. You can imagine if you go to North Pole and then you feel it's really, really cold. Yeah, there will be technology for that, I think. Okay, entertainment, game, education. In the museum, for example, from Indonesia, you can see Toba Museum. Actually, if you go to Toba, it looks like, you see the film, for example, like Lord of the Rings. Yeah, the place is really great. And then there are some explanation about how Toba formed at that moment because of the very, very big earthquake at that moment. Or, for example, if you want to understand about the prehistoric mountain, Nglangran. Do you know Nglangran is a prehistoric mountain? Ngelanggeran is in Gunung Kidul in Jogja. Yeah. In the past, it was underwater. It was in the ocean. But then because of the disaster at that moment, it became something different. It became prehistoric mountain. If you check, Ngelanggeran is actually having some fossil. This is from ocean. Okay. And then this is other technology adoption in tourism. This is for aesthetic and also for escapism, because tourism, this is something to escape. Actually, one of the motivation is escape. Yeah. Do you want it right now? Escape. Escape from routine, escape from just stay in your room. But okay, you can see this in the article. This is the in situ, ex situ experience, and this is also from the article. It's not on your PowerPoint at this moment. Some application of the technology, mobile application, etc. The example of best practices around the world, and I hope the focus group discussion can give recommendation like this for Indonesian tourism. That is what discussion about. Yeah, for example, in UK, this is what they have, how they use it, the technology to support the tourism activities for the better quality of life. Yeah, this is some examples. With the technology, they address the education, aesthetic, entertainment, escapism. Yeah, and then we go at the data. This is just about data. Yeah, so don't worry about the pages here. From UNWTO, this is the condition of Indonesian market, and then what they do, public-private partnership. Yeah, improve national heads, etc. And then how they restart tourism. Clean, hygiene, sustainable environment. And this is also other example, Malaysia, and this is from the Ministry of Tourism. You see, quality tourism become the focus. In the past, maybe the number of tourism become the indicator, but right now the quality tourism. It's not about the quantity, but the quality. And then look at the other side here, communication and promotion strategy. Yeah, I want group can have this kind of recommendation. How we can recover the tourism. You can look at this activity. Okay. The sustainable marketing practices, consumer-oriented, customer value marketing, innovative, using this kind of technology. And then when we look at the societal marketing, considering consumer quality of life. Yeah, this is I quote from Kotler and Armstrong book. Yeah. And this is our discussion question. Okay, can you see that? How technology could help Indonesian tourism industry recovery in a sustainable way. So it's not only helping Indonesian tourism industry, but also in a sustainable way. You will have, how long? Is that 15 minutes discussion with your group?
Yeah, I think the discussion time would be 15 minutes. It should be limited to 15 minutes. And after that, each group will be able to present for 6 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's all from me. I hope the question is clear. Everybody clear with the question? How information technology, how technology could help Indonesian tourism, because technology is not just about pre-visit, but also can be during and also post-visit. Yeah, they can use this kind of technology. This is some references. And let's do our best for better Indonesia, for better quality of life. Thank you. Okay, I give my time back to Mr. Achmad. Okay.
Thank you for Yulia for your a very insightful presentation. And I think after this, some of the students, not some, but all of the students will be assigned
All students.
to the breakout rooms. Perhaps we can visit one or all of the groups so we can see how the discussion going on. And after that, within 15 minutes, we can discuss it later. Okay. I think the breakout rooms have been provided by the operator.
Presentation is that 5 minutes?
6 minutes, perhaps.
6 minutes. And then after everybody doing presentation,
yeah, we can have some discussions, comments.
After all, after all presentation.
Well, perhaps it's a choice. You can you can have some comments just after each presentation, or you can have general comments in the end of the session.
Okay. I think first group can do the presentation now. Is that right?
Yes.
Everybody's here already. Yes. Please do. Group 1.
So we are from Group 1, consisting of 4 members, me, Alexandra, Audrey Fikrah, Caroline, and Dimas Putra. So our answer, first of all, this should be a collaboration between the government, entrepreneurs, startup owners, workers, and basically just everyone in Indonesia. So we cannot just rely it on the government or rely it to the private company. And for next, yes, maybe my friend can help me to explain the second slide.
Okay, then I will check on the second slide. Here's what we make is a few stages that what people should do before the arrival, on the arrival, or during the tour, and even after the arrival from their holiday, from tourism. Okay, I'll explain about the first step of it. It should be before the arrival. By making an interesting website, social media like Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, we can invite a tourist to know more about their destination before they arrive at that, and to make sure that they have a pleasant experience there. And the second one is by innovating a innovative platform to book for activities or place. Like we have that in Indonesia actually a lot, like the ticket.com or the Traveloka itself. And the third one is a guide of what to prepare, what activities can we do there. Like this can be done by making the local people itself more productive and more in promoting their own tourist activities there. And the last one is prepare the labor force for the tourism industry, training and reskill. This must be done by make them like having a special training to make their tourist activity and tourists more even a pleasant stay there. And for the second step will be explained by my friend. Thank you.
So yeah, I would like to elaborate on the on arrival. So on arrival, as maybe some of you experience, we can scan booking code. So we will get the booking code to an attraction or any destination that you have been pointed before. So like it makes like a guarantee that you will go there and you are not going anywhere without like a tracing of the help with the next one is the application for Peduli Lindungi. And then using the application, we also can checking the swab test or vaccine history. And then also, I think Indonesia can make this Peduli Lindungi it's more effective in tracking people when they're doing their travel, even is for business travel or for leisure. So yeah, like government can make what we can say more know about their citizen and where they are. Okay, and then the next one we would like to present by Dimas. Please, Dimas.
Maybe the last one during the tour would be infrastructure would be needed. to accommodate tourists, such as like the place to stay for them in some places, and the connection looks like for the telephone and internet is needed if the tourists want to share their holidays. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and I'll explain more regarding the during the tour. So, as we all know, some places like Disneyland, for example, they have an application and they change the manual map into like digital map in their application. The explanation is also there, so we can reduce the cost of tour guide and change it into just one application building. And during the tour, there's also should be like reminder for the protocol kesehatan since we are currently in a pandemic, and after this COVID pandemic, probably we still need to do some of that to prevent any more pandemic. And for the after arrival, we can also still check the swab test or vaccine history because like maybe there are some viruses that we got there, so we need to take care of that. And maybe we haven't write it here, but we can also because we know the power of internet, we can also make giveaways for people, for tourists that go to our tourist attraction and leave an interesting review. So people will be more interested to go there. People will be more excited to write reviews on internet. And maybe if I may add up for the during the tour, I've seen this in South Korea that there is hologram concert. So it is not real people, but it really looks like real people. So maybe for attraction like in Candi Prambanan, there is an Anoman show. For during this pandemic, maybe it's a little bit hard to make a lot of people learn the dance, the show together. So maybe they can just make one recording of the show and just let the tourists experience the hologram concert of Anoman show. I think that's from me. Maybe my friends want to add up something.
If I may.
Sorry, the time's up.
In the time.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's good idea from the group. You have the pre-visit, during, and also post-visit one. In the pre-visit, actually, you can also add some other activities, for example, about the research, getting the customer insight. This is also a pre-visit that the company tourism industry can elaborate. Yeah. Okay, we go to the next group. Second group. Thank you for group one. Yeah. Go second group. Group two.
Okay, so hello everyone. We are from Group 2. So here are the end results of our discussion. So as we know, augmented virtual and mixed reality technologies can offer alternative ways to travel the world and an exciting new model for the industry. The technology has helped travel and tourism industries to increase their reach through travel booking websites, videos, blogs, and travel photography. These digital tools and content are a vital source of information for vacationists organizing their next holiday or creating a destination virtually. While remote or virtual tourism has been a futuristic theme within industry forums for some time. And in this world today that has been shaped by the COVID-19 pandemic might now be ready to accept it. And this implementation of AR, VR, and MR can enable a seamless, uninterrupted interactive experience for viewers from their own private space. And the design principles will create a frictionless digital user experience and also to construct a positive perception of a tourist destination. With this technology improving lives globally, virtual tourism could reignite the tourism industry and its people and help build a more sustainable economic model. And next point will be explained by my next colleague, please.
Okay, so the integration of the AR and VR and MR, which is augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality into the websites and applications, will allow for a more exciting and pretty fresh stuff to be implemented, as we can use the AR, VR, and MR. It can also be applicated in the applications, which all of this, the websites and the applications, is already informative, but it will make it more interesting if we integrate with the AR, VR, and MR. Which also will bring a lot more visitors. And the other purpose is also educative purpose, which will be explained by my other colleagues.
Right. So with the mentioned technology, it gives us a platform where we can penetrate the education market. So like with this specific market, like specifically in elementary school, middle schools, and senior high schools, they still learn about history, right? And probably after the pandemic, they will still integrate the educational operations with online-based learning. So it'll be
Right.
it'll give us a very large market if we focus on these specific customer segments with our platforms. Yeah. And next will be explained by my friend.
Okay, for the I'm just going to explain about what virtual tourism will do to the sustainability. We believe that virtual tourism itself act as sustainable because it will decrease the actual visit to the sites, which in turn would decrease the damage made by mungkin the tourist to actually the tourist site. It would also enable the tourists to be able to explore freely without having some constraints, maybe even going as close as possible to the site, for example, to the Borobudur temple, and they could even imagine on how close it is looking at it from anywhere in the comfort of their own home. Next will be discussed by my colleague.
Okay, so for the next point, we want to talk about the marketing perspective more. So as we all know that actually Indonesia has already been working on like hosting every single spot in Indonesia to attract more tourism from both local citizen as well as the foreign tourism, right?
Hello.
And in this case, actually, we actually need to add more values because in this case, we have to share because I mean, there are a lot of beautiful places around the globe other than Indonesia, right? So basically, tourism can freely go there as long as they have enough resources such as like time and money. But if we can share another unique story or another value to share to them, this is expected to be able to attract more like visitors in the future. And yeah, I
1
think
minute
that's
left.
all. Sorry?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's
1
all.
minute left.
Yeah, I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, is that all from the group? Thank you so much. This is good. The implementation of AR, VR, and mixed reality there. And also you point some interesting thing, for example, like the educative process, and also there's some potential segment that market can develop. Yeah, I think it will be great for the startup as well. You can learn new businesses while you visit around Indonesia. For example, we have superfood around Indonesia. Do you know that in Indonesia we have pink rice? The color of rice is pink, and also the other one is purple. This is a business opportunity for you guys. Yeah. Okay. I think it's good from group 2. Thank you. Okay, let's go to group 3.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Ailana, and I'm from Group 3. And I'm here today with my fellow groupmates, Andika, Helmi, Clarissa, and Vivian. So our group identified the technology that have been used in the tourism industry that is already existing now. And we also come up with a couple of innovative ideas that we think are possible to be implemented somewhere in the future. And we also take into account the sustainability values in them. So first, for the existing technology, will be explained by my colleague.
So to develop sustainable tourism industry, we have discussed that applying some of the existing technology such as the throat translating device, which is pretty self-explanatory, which you can record your voice and translating it into your native language. And then you also have the online booking system, which you can book your hotel or your tourist place anywhere. And also the virtual tour, which can
make more the tourist interactive and get more clear picture of the tourist location. And next, the innovative idea will be explained by my colleagues.
Moving on to the innovative ideas. So the first one is we suggest a live streaming tourism. So where people can watch tour guides exploring the city of their choice and request unique souvenirs that are available. So while the tour guides are exploring the city with the tourists monitoring the activity from their home, they can request for souvenirs that the tour guides found along the way. So it is like a live vlog and interactive joystick mixed together. It will also contribute to one of the sustainability goal, which is gender equality, since we can make sure that the tour guides that are hired equally within the gender composition. So further explanation will be explained by my colleague.
Okay, thank you. So by having live streaming tourism, this will offer people to experience interactive real-time tours with real-time streaming with hardware such as drones, 360 degrees camera, etc. And thus, it will change how we consume touristic experiences in the new age of disruption. And it will also enable tourists to experience leisure while also achieve sustainability by having live stream tourism, because it would decrease the carbon footprint that would have generated from long-haul flights and other activities like transport and so on.
The last innovative ideas that we want to create is the virtual game. This is where people can play games with the tourist destination as their background of the place, such as the next slide, please. Such as this game where it is it's being placed in Lombok Beach or maybe in the Borobudur statues and other places that might create tourism destination. And with these innovative ideas, what we want to do is to promote the place itself, and we want interactive ideas without destroying the environment and ensure sustainability of the place, because as it is virtual, it does not destroy any environment in the local environment. The next slide would be the key stakeholders that plays an important role in order for the economy to recover from this pandemic through sustainable tourism. So the first one, the government should ensure flexible but open policy, such as with the ensure of the health protocols or the vaccine requirements. The government should also promote this local domestic tourism, but also ensure a safe return for international tourists. For the entrepreneurs, the business have to be sustainable and to be certain because the pandemic is full of uncertainty. And they also need to do sustainable practices like minimizing waste or employing local people. Entrepreneurs should also adopt digital technology in order to be more sustainable. The last one, tourists. For the economy to recover, what we want to do is to increase the confidence of the travelers and ensure that they are and they are doing the health protocols required. Tourists should be required to adopt the technology and also support the local business instead of buying foreign companies. That's all from Group 3. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, I'm so happy that you point the auto translation device. This is something that I didn't mention before. I'm glad you acknowledge about that, because right now maybe some people really scared to go a very different place that they can't talk, they can't communicate, but with the device, yeah, you can directly communicate with others. Yeah. And also you point out about the benefit for the economy. And remember, sustainability is not just about the environment. Yeah, this is also socio-cultural sustainability, yeah, and also economic. Okay, thank you. We move to Group 4. Thank you, Group 3.
All right. I think it's the next slide, Wilma.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go.
Wilma, okay. Thank you. Okay, so we are from Group 4. I think we can start this presentation. I think Anissa can start to talk about the ease of access. So firstly, we're going to be talking about the question contextually, and then we're going to be talking about our framework. So Anissa, you can take it away.
So as said on the presentation, technology can enable us to go everywhere without any physical boundaries. So basically, like with technology, we can like visit these places virtually. And then in addition to that, it's also kind of friendly, as mentioned in the previous presentation, it's friendly for the local communities as well as like the beauty and the well-being of the tourist attractions. So without like having to go to the tourist attraction itself, we can still see it. And this avoids like the degradation of local communities and also preserves the beauty of tourist attractions. And I think the next 3 points will be addressed by Arif.
Okay, so basically, we can also talk about the long-term and probably short-term solutions itself. So first, we can talk about the site's authenticity. So knowing that there's a problem with over-tourism and whatnot during the COVID-19 pandemic, we can use technology to prevent the site's deterioration by, for example, making a simple app in which people can provide registry for the tourists. They can visit the location based on schedule, so it will prevent over-tourism and provide social or physical distancing needed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But of course, that's only for the short term. For the long term, we believe that by using technology, we can increase our promotion and marketing, which would promote long-term recovery. What we mean by that is that technological advances can help promote tourist sites in ex-situ experiences, such as probably VR, AR, and also from the comforts of our own home, so that it will encourage them to visit once the pandemic ends. And this is in conjunction with this in relation with the long-term recovery, as this will maintain the interest during the pandemic, so that the tourists will be enticed to come once the situations die down in Indonesia, and then they will eventually be able to come and visit and eventually help tourism increase again in Indonesia. So now we're going to be discussing the frameworks that we can offer. So next slide, please, Wilma, and you can also start to discuss it.
So the solution that we're gonna offer for sustainability tourism is first VR outposts that institutions in places in the world that have reopened can offer virtual reality experience or augmented reality of Indonesian tourist attraction. And we also offer 360 degrees virtual experience. For the sake of the convenience, people can open a designated website and experience the tourist destination from their computers. Also, from the solution, we also need for the research needed. It's about ethical issues about imitating landscape for outside party use, and then more convenient and simpler technology for all segments, so they can experience the site that they want to visit in their home. So that's it. Our discussion from group 4. Maybe other member would like to add.
Okay, thank you so much, Group 4. It's good you mentioned about the authenticity. Yeah. One of the requirement for World Heritage, for example, one requirement from UNESCO is authenticity. Not only authenticity about the object, this is also important. Visitors can get authentic experience. Yeah. So that is one of the keywords. And then using technology actually can help those kind of issues. This is one point. Another thing is actually you can also make customization based on the technology. Oh yeah, about the technology, mistakenly some students think it's just about the virtual tourism. It's not only about the virtual tourism, yeah, because we also can visit the place, but also using technology. For example, while you're in the sites, the technology can help you with so many different things. Okay, thank you, Group 4. It's good. We go to Group 5. Yeah, Group 5. We have 3 more groups to go.
Okay,
Don't worry.
Okay, so let me start for the presentation itself. So Hello, we're from Group 5. We're going to present our findings about this. And so beforehand, I would like to pinpoint this. So we have like a pain point from the Statista data in 2021. So we know that the numbers of visitors from 2011 until 2020 keep increasing yearly. But we know that from 2019 to 2020, we have like a decrease for around like 70 until like 80%. And that's why we conduct this analysis from our group. So hello, we're from Group 5. We would like to give our opinion and also our solution for the diversifying revenue streams to build long-term resilience for tourism. So we have like this problems page to know what's the problem itself. So from the past analysis, I would like to like give you a comprehensive understanding about this. So we know that from the politics sides, Sri Mulyani had given like 14.2 trillion incentive strategy to open up to all industry that was unfiled by the tourism at the forefront. And for the economic itself, we know that coronavirus, it's most outbreak that had generated over $500 billion losses for, I'm sorry, it's the Indonesian tourism. And for the legal itself, PPKM level 4 is stated until the 2nd of August. And not to mention, there will be another PPKM if the condition is not feasible. And for the fishbone analysis, we could see that there's the weather and seasonality, there's COVID-19 and fluctuating number of visitors. And for the subsidies itself, we have like the decreasing government subsidies and project investment focused fundraising, and that's why we must Indonesia must diversify revenue streams and utilize technology to smooth fluctuating incomes in COVID-19 periods. And for this, we have like 3 solutions that we would like to propose during pandemic and post-pandemic. Maybe my colleagues would like to present for this. Okay, so for the first one, which is the education tour with local tourism through Google Meeting, we know that study tour held by a lot of people, a lot of school in Indonesia had been decided not to be conducted anymore since there are a lot of restriction available. And that's why we see that as a business strategy. We could conduct an online session with local tourism agent to meet the students. And then after, because of all of the stress that students had been receiving during this COVID-19 pandemic, they could have like 1 day, 2 day breaks from school and just focusing on the online Zoom tourism education tour like that. For the second, will be presented by my colleagues.
Okay, next is like, it is the perfect opportunity because we know that it's unavoidable that the tourism must be closed to follow the government regulation. So it is the perfect opportunity to promote our travel site using the popular social media such as TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, because we know that COVID is a stressful situation. People will think that they need vacation. So at the current moment, I know that they will prepare for it. And when the border is open and it is safe to go, people will go to that travel site. And the third one is to initiate the online purchase platform. I know that it was mentioned before, but I think it's very relatable and it is very doable because we know that there are a lot of unique local products that only available in one specific place. And if we could sell that produce to the broader area, it will reach the broader customer area as well in Indonesia and also in international area. And next, maybe my colleague could continue.
Maybe for the post-pandemic, we could create a 365 days ticket to tourism activities because we don't know when the COVID-19 pandemic will be over. And that's why we would create a safety net for the local government and to ensure a local revenues. As to mention that a lot of SMEs business that's in the tourism is closed during this pandemic because they doesn't really get that much of a revenue or profit. And that's why if we create this, we could ensure that they will come in the next 1 year, or maybe if they don't come in the next 1 year, we could also ensure we could get a local revenue because we would promote it if the ticket is cheaper than the usual, but they can use it for 1 year. And if they want to go to the places or like the local tourism sites, they could buy the ticket online, and after that they could verify it using their ID card if they've been there, and the numerous benefits including a lower ticket price, a ticket they could use anytime for the next 365 days. Okay, this one.
Okay, thank you. I will continue. So the innovative solution that we offer is actually interactive online tourism and local education tour. So first of all, seeing the animals or maybe the people online and interacting with them, this offers new consumers experience. So, for example, here I have the picture in the middle about live on camera at the Houston Zoo. You can actually see the animals, and if you want to, you can feed the animals with paying some amount of money, and then you can see by yourself that it is like automation of and utilizing the technology, so you can interact live with the animals. So with this kind of new consumer experience, we hope that this kind of tourism, especially zoo, can strive in the tourism industry. So the resource of income will be from people who are donating straight to the zoo or the tourism place, and also paying from what I have mentioned before to interact live with the animals. For example, when you are living in United States, you want to interact with Komodo, you can just do it by coming to the dedicated website by the zoo, or maybe some kind of platform that we can use. So for the crowdfunding itself, for example, you guys know Twitch, right? It is a very famous online platform to stream. And also for in Indonesia, the crowdfunding website will be that you guys might be familiar with, kitabisa.com, or maybe Kolase, or any other website that we can use, or maybe we can just create a new one dedicated for tourism industry in Indonesia. So I think the education one will be helped by my colleague.
I'm sorry, but it's the time. So
Oh, the time is up.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's all for our group. And I think
Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, it's really cool. Really cool. I love it. You have a very good idea about bringing zoo to school. For example, this is what happened in Singapore, because people can't really go to the zoo, and then the zoo going to the class. And then yeah, I'll wrap up later on. I'll go to next group first. Okay, thank you so much. Group 6. Group 6.
So hello everyone. We are from Group 6, and we'll be presenting our solution and about this tourism during COVID and post-COVID era. So let me hand to my friend Farkan.
All right. So based on our research, we found that during this COVID-19 pandemic in Indonesia, the tourism and aviation business has lost roughly around 85 trillion rupiah. So we need something to save this tourism so they will not lose for a longer time. So in this case, it is proven that technology can save the tourism for now. And then we offered some ideas like we using virtual reality and then video conference for tourism. And then for further explanation, it will be presented by my colleague about the technology for tourism during COVID and then post-COVID. Thank you.
So thank you, Farkan. So basically, we divide it into during COVID and post-COVID. And another idea will be presented by my friend Salma in the end. So during COVID, we will have like a video conference where you can actually have it in real time. So basically, if you, for example, if you're going to, let's say we book it to visit Bali, we can actually have the real time where you can enjoy the sunset or the sunrise in Uluwatu, where there will be like a video conference. And also you can also interact with the guide there. So it's not like a video, it's basically more like interactive virtual tourism that you can handle it. And the other main selling point is when you book the virtual tourism, there will be a package of souvenirs that will be sent to your address. And so basically the souvenirs will be delivered to you before the virtual tourism started. So when the virtual tourism started, you can actually go have it in hand with the souvenirs that you can actually ask the guide how it's made it, and it can actually help the UMKM also. Let me give it to my friend Tabita.
Hanson, let me explain about the post-COVID idea.
Okay, so for the post-COVID idea, it's actually pretty similar to during COVID. So we'll be using the VR gears where they can actually have more experience in when they quote unquote visit the area. And in addition to that, we can actually give like when they actually go to the place itself, we can provide visual space also. So as you can see, an image on top. So instead of like some arts visualization like that, we can actually have the visual representation for the venue itself. So I think this can especially targets the youth and those people who actually love to take Instagrammable posts. Yeah. I'll pass the time to Tabitha.
So our next idea to integrate our previous ideas is having a virtual tourism game. So it is targeted to youth and young adults, and we can also add a family with kids, especially. In this virtual game, we will provide a full map of tourism destination, and maybe it's not only a place, but also some places, especially in Indonesia, to promote our tourist destination while COVID still happens. And we also provide some personalization as account and allow them to have a checkpoints and also mark their signatures or their stamp post that they already visited that place virtually in this game, and also provide some communication to them who actually choose to have a group tourist type. And we can provide it by application and put it on the website. And we also realized that maybe this virtual tourism game with virtual reality costs a high of not that high and not that low cost. So we will provide it with and without VR tools. And of course, we also try to make a personalization moment for the consumers so they can feel refreshed after they join this game by recording their play game, and they also can see this application even after COVID era. So our sustainability goals from this game is not also to have an experience in tourism, but also we can connect with UMKM or SME and to have a long-term digital transformation development, especially not only the customers, but also the people in tourism area, include their people as well. Okay. So I think that's all. Maybe.
Okay. Is that all? Thank you so much, Group 6. It's interesting. You have some points in relation to gaming, for example, about the gamification in marketing is important at this moment. And this is also a good opportunity for startups. If you want to do something, opening a startup business, supporting the tourism, education, it will be great. Yeah. Okay, we go to group 7 first before my general comment to everybody. Thank you so much. Group 7, last one. Don't worry, still have time. Yes, take your time.
Okay, so good afternoon, Miss Yulia and all of my friends. Today, we would like to present how the technology could help the Indonesian tourism recovery. So go to the next slide, will be presented by Nurul Jihad. Please.
So we decided with the help of technology, we split the tourism into two parts, so we're able to see the opportunity in a broader way. So those two things are, first, quality and standards. So the quality of the service varies significantly around the region, largely due to the absence of common quality standard or regulation. Majority of tourism service providers are small or medium level enterprise who also have limited access to the latest technology and standards. So that's one of the area that we are to focusing with the help of technology. And then the second, connectivity and infrastructure. So low investment in road and air connectivity and support infrastructure in the region, in the tourism region Indonesia, have led to high transportation costs, limited air connectivity, cumbersome border crossing, and poor condition. Okay, next slide that we will be explaining the outline.
Okay. for the first outline, it's about to collaborate with low demand potential area. As we know that there is a lot of small, beautiful places in Indonesia which still have a low demand where people don't know where is the place. However, the place it's really have a big potential to have a lot of visitors. For instance, like the Greenfield in the Yogyakarta, there's still a lot of places that most visitor doesn't know about that place. So this technology will let the world know that this area has much potential, beautiful places, and the resource to be a part of a tourism place. And this is the part also to enhance the human development there, as the human development in the rural areas or the urban areas would be maintained with the come up of these technology improvement in that areas. So to collaborate with low demand potential area are the first important things from this recovery with the technology of tourism. And the next would be explained by Sophie, please.
Thank you, John. So for next, collaborate with the health industry to increase the sense of security of tourists, because during the pandemic, there is changes in consumer behavior where people started to rely heavily on technology. And given the uncertainty caused by the COVID-19 outbreak, it is particularly important to adopt strategies to improve tourist safety in the post-pandemic context and strengthen the public confidence. Therefore, I think collaborating with the health industry will be the answer to be hand in hand to improve the tourist safety in the post-pandemic with the help of technology, of course. And since nowadays health is everyone's number one priority, because I'm sure that many people are traumatized from this unprecedented event and wants to feel safe during traveling post pandemics. For example, like Traveloka can collaborate with health industries such as Halodoc, so that people are traveling to Indonesia can feel more secure with their health. And for the next part will be explained by other colleagues.
Okay, thank you. So the next part is about conservation and improvement. We could use this time in the corona pandemic. So because there is no tourist visiting tourism place, there's an opportunity for us to do the recovery. For the example, for Borobudur and beach at Bali. As we know, before the pandemic, the tourist was littering and there's a lot of plastic waste. And it also damages the statue maybe in the Borobudur. So with the help of technology, it could help to conserve it. And for the improvement, we could use it for service and the facility of access. So using AR to attract more visitors after the pandemic end. And then the next part will be presented by my colleague.
Okay, moving on. So technology could play a key role for tourism and recovery in Indonesia if technology well planned and invested. So one of the promising about technology that it can create like a safe environment that we can inform for the tourists before they visit the destinations. And on the other hand, but also in addressing the existing challenge that the tourism encounter in the certain region, so we can solve it earlier for to embrace the future and to achieve the future goals. So next, I want to discuss about the although various services for tourism is predominantly provided by the private sector. It is the government's policies, strategies, and incentives that provide the direction and impetus for the growth of the sector. So the role of government is to formulate the national policies and programs and coordinate the activities of various central, provincial, and local governments and the private sector, and alongside with the help of technology to meet the recovery as we always wanted and we already planned before. So that is from us, Group 7. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Group 7. This is comprehensive. Yeah. I think everybody already present. I'm happy that every group show creative recommendation. Yeah, this is really important. Actually, you are part of the solution. We are part of the solution. When you mention about the players, we talk about the stakeholders. We have to recover our business because it involves the life of so many people in Indonesia. And then when we look at the stakeholders, actually, if we refer to pentahelix model, for example, there's a government, industry, and then community. Another part is academics and experts. We are part of them, and also the media. So if you want to be part of the solution, be active, because there are so many things that you can save for or better Indonesia. For example, one of the groups showing we can bring the zoo to the school, for example. Right now in Indonesia, the experiential learning is something that government introduced at this moment. It will be fun, yeah, having experience, for example, maybe people impressed by the size of tree in Australia, but we have bigger tree in Kalimantan, for example. And then how to measure the age of tree, for example. This is a part of the subject in high school, for example. And then we can collaborate between science and tourism. So in marketing, tourism marketing, this is not just about selling, but also how to increase the quality of life of the people. The community welfare is the key. And then group also showing positive things about helping the small scale industries, small scale business, for example. Do you know tripang? Tripang is sea cucumber. Have you eat tripang? Keripik tripang. That is chips from tripang, from sea cucumber. Actually, the one who first entered Australia is not chips cook, but Indonesian people from Sulawesi by trading tripang. In our pandemic era, is actually people from the places that they have those kind of sea cucumber, for example. They can make snacks, they can make chips from many specific food from around Indonesia, and then they can sell it from many different islands in Indonesia. If you are in European countries, if you go by plane from or maybe using road, yeah, from Netherlands to UK, this is already other country. But in Indonesia, with the same distance, it's still in Indonesia because we are so big. So explore Indonesia, yeah, and help the tourism recovery and increase the quality of life because we are part of the solution. Okay. I think that's all from now. You can see, we can read my PowerPoint, and then you can go to the web, visit the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, because they also offer some training for young people. Because the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy actually know the importance of the technology, and then now they provide this kind of training. Yeah, take this kind of opportunity and also contribute, give your ideas. You have many excellent ideas. Yeah, we can also improve the quality of life of the community by asking the local people become the tour guide. There's a research from Aboriginal tourism places. The research shows that people actually perceive it's more authentic when it is delivered by the real locals, the real Aboriginal community. And then we also learn something new. For example, didgeridoo, the music from Aboriginal community. Actually, they are not happy if I'm not mistaken, yeah, girls playing that, because it's not for girls, for example. But sometimes people don't understand about that, and local have very rich local wisdom. Okay, I think that's all from me today. I hope you enjoy that, and I hope you become part of the solution. Thank you.
Thank you, Yulia, for a very interesting lecture and for a very interesting discussions that we sometimes forgot the time because it's so important and it's so interesting. And we gain
Thank you.
some fresh insights and ideas from the students. Hopefully, this will materialize in the future, and this can be a solution for Indonesia amid this pandemic and crisis. Thank you
Thank you.
for the lecture and for session. Sorry. Thank you for your attention and for your attendance, and see you in the next 45 minutes.